All right, guys, let's check out a Luminox. This one is black and green, and the green is perfect for like a OD olive military vibe. This is the XS.3013.EVO for $625, sent in by Richard at Saltzmans in Rhode Island. Link in the description as well as direct contact information, maybe a little code for you if you can figure that out. Let's get into this thing. I'm going to share the size. It's 43 millimeter case, but this has to be the smallest looking 43 millimeter watch I've ever handled. It just doesn't look or feel like 43 millimeter. I think it's because of the dial size. We're going to talk about that in a second, but it is a 43 Carbon X case, so it's like this carbon resin material that Luminox uses. The lug to lug is a 45.75. You can see that nicely sized 6.5 millimeter screw down crown. Yes. Some of the earlier Luminox did not have that. Thickness 13.4 millimeter sapphire crystal up top, so just a tad thinner than a Seiko SKX, if you remember those. And then you have a 22 millimeter lug opening, but in standard fashion here, what they do is they flare out their strap so it matches up with the case a little bit. They're usually extremely nice. You know what? I measured it at 22. It clearly says 21. I stand corrected. I was a little loose with my measurement there. It is actually 21 millimeter. Still not a problem. These are genuine rubber. They are great straps. Sure, you could put something else on here, but I think once you try a Luminox on one of their straps, you're just going to end up replacing the strap if the strap wears out before the watch. In this configuration, it only weighs 58 grams. Now, I want to talk about another spec real quick. Where's my pointer? Gotta grab the finger pointer here. So I measured the sapphire crystal from here to here, just the crystal, right? I was able to catch the edge. And no, I measured it correctly, not like the lugs. So the crystal is 27.9 millimeter. But if I measure just the dial, not even that chapter ring where the tritium tubes are, just the dial is only like 24 millimeter. That's pretty small for a dial. And I think that's why it kind of presents a little bit smaller. I think. I don't know. There's so many optical illusions with watches. That's why it's important to go try them on if you can, or at least if you can't, consume as many different versions of a video or pictures or information you can find on, I don't care if it's Reddit or Facebook or Discords or wherever you can gather up information before you slap down your hard-earned money. And it doesn't matter if it's $100 or $100,000. Make sure that you are making the best choice for you, for your wrist, in your preference. 60 click bezel, nice tactile feel, no play to it. Nice chunk, 60 click. Has a quartz movement, clearly, you can see that ticking away. And you have tritium tubes going around the perimeter on that chapter ring, as well as you can see the colors different on the hour and minute hand, so we'll do the best we can and show those tritium tube colors. And then you have your date over at the 3 o'clock position. That's nice. Let's pop it on wrist so you can see what that looks like. In case I didn't mention it, there's 200 meter water resist. I was wearing the Tudor LHD. Oh, you want to see it next to each other? Sure, I can do that. That's funny. They both kind of have like that nice warm tone look to it. I like that. Although this looks like it could fit inside. See, that's what I mean though. Look at it. And it's all about the dial, because the dial is much larger on the Tudor. This thing looks smaller to me than the Tudor. Black case, smaller dial. And this Tudor's like 43 millimeter as well. So, I don't know. It's just weird. Let me pop it on wrist so you can see what that looks like. Boom. That's on my 7¼ inch wrist. If you have a 6-inch wrist, could you wear this watch? Absolutely. I think you could. So that's my point. Don't get hung up on 43 millimeter or 46 millimeter lug to lug, or 16 millimeter thick. This one isn't, but don't get so hung up on those measurements. You need to try them. I've been fooled many times about a size of a watch, and then I get a chance to try it on, like the Omega Ploprof. You look at the measurements on that, you look at the watch. If you ever get a chance to try one on, especially in titanium, try it on. You'll be like, oh, I could totally wear this watch. Watches are weird, guys, and we're weird for liking them, I'm sure. So Let me turn off the studio lights. We're going to have to do a little UV action here. I think you can kind of see it, but if I get this guy, there you go. You can see the green on most of the tritium tubes, and then you have the orange tied to the 12 o'clock position, the minute hand, and of course the dive bezel. Those are all important for getting your reference. So thanks for watching. Big thanks to Saltzmans. I'll see you guys in the next vid.